You've just finished a Teams meeting and it was recorded, but where did that recording go? How do you access that recording? How do you download the recording of the Teams meeting? And if you can't access it, why can't you access it and what can you do about it? I've got you covered. Let's take a look at how all of this works. Warning, by the end of this video, you might be thinking a little bit differently about who should organize the meetings and who presses that record button. Let me take you through the scenarios here. There are 3 different scenarios depending on whether you've set up a meeting in advance, whether it's just a call between 2 people, or whether it's a meeting in a Teams channel. Skip ahead to where you need to be. I'm going to start here with the most common scenario, which is that you've gone into Outlook, you've set up a Teams meeting and sent it out to people. I'm going to show you the experience from the point of view of the person who did this, who organized the meeting, somebody internal who was in the meeting, and somebody external who was in the meeting. So let's start here as the meeting organizer. I'm playing the role of me as the meeting organizer for a change. So the way that you find this is in the chats area of your Teams. If you click on meeting chats, that will narrow it down so that you can just find all of the recent meeting chats. These things do have an expiry date. I'm going to show you how to address that, but do this promptly. Don't leave it for 3 months until you get a warning that something's going to expire. So there you've got your meeting chat. Now, even if there was literally no chat in the meeting, you'll see that this is an easy way that I can access the recording. So I've got here a little thumbnail, transcript, view recap. So easiest way is to click on that. Expands it, gives me all of these options here. You might get a different experience depending on whether you've got a paid Copilot license or what type of Teams license you've got. I've got everything activated here. So the Teams meetings principles are the same even if you don't have those other things lit up. But here we go. What you can do from here as the organizer, I can watch the meeting, I can get the transcript, all of those things, but there's no option to download or do anything interesting. Here's where you want to go, watch in browser. I'm going to come back to show you where this is saved, but this is a really easy path to do this. Now, as the organizer, you'll see up the top here, I've got a download button. If that's all you want to know, thanks for watching, but I'm going to show you some other cool things here. Where this is saved is shown down here. This is in Documents Recordings, where it's actually saved, and there was a little bit of a clue to this on the previous screen. It's saved in the OneDrive folder, OneDrive for Business, of the person who organized the meeting. If you want to access the actual file itself, you'll see that it's saved in your OneDrive in a folder called Recordings. There are 2 ways that you can access that, depending on personal preference. If you use the File Explorer to navigate around, which I do, this is honestly the easiest way to do it. What you want to do here is expand your folder that's your business account. This is OneDrive for Business here. So this has got all of the files that you're using at work, and you will find there is a folder in here called Recordings, and the recordings are in that folder. This is not your personal OneDrive, this is your work OneDrive. The other way you can access this is to go to the Microsoft 365 Copilot app, m365.cloud.microsoft. It doesn't matter if you even have a Copilot license. This is actually an entry point to all of the Microsoft 365 things that you work with. Come down to the bottom here and choose Apps and choose OneDrive, and that will actually open your OneDrive for all of the files that you've got. Now, if it's a brand new meeting, you'll see it sitting there in the recent files, but if you want to see where it actually is, just navigate into My Files. You'll see this Recordings folder is here. The little sparkle there, it's actually just been automatically created as a new folder when I initiated a meeting and had a recording. You don't need to set that up. And there we go, there is that weekly progress meeting. So what I've got here is the option to download. I can choose to move or copy it to a different location, but you've also got the option here to change the expiry date. So if this is something that you know you want to keep, your organization will have a standard policy about how long these meetings recordings are kept for. If the editing button isn't already on, sometimes it comes up first as viewing. So if you have viewing, you'll see this says you need to go into edit mode. So if you want to start playing around with it, switch across here into editing. And then as you see the expires in 120 days, you can actually click on that and choose to say, remove the expiration date or extend it, or pick a particular date in the future. So if it's something you know you want to keep for the long term, go ahead and do that. The other thing I want to point out to you here is that there is a trim option. Sometimes when you record a meeting, especially if it's a big group meeting, you might have seen this, one person is not really paying attention and is on the meeting for like half an hour longer than the meeting actually finished, and then your meeting recording of a 1 hour meeting is an hour and a half long, you can use this to trim that off, or maybe trim off sort of a long period of intros at the start. If you want to be doing more editing than that, and you don't already have editing software, if you download the meeting, obviously you can take that file and upload into your editing software. But Open Editor here will open something called Clipchamp, which is a Microsoft product that you can use to do some basic video editing if you like. The other important thing I want to show you here is this share button. So if I come in here, this meeting is between me and Miranda, fictional person in my organization, and Amy, fictional person outside my organization. But you'll see if, as the organizer, I come in, I have this share button, Manage Access will actually show me at the moment. So I'm the owner, I have all the power because I organize the meeting. Miranda can't download. So she's an internal participant, but she can't download. Poor Amy doesn't even get a mention. She's external. We're going to come back to this in a minute in terms of sharing it when we talk about external people. Let's have a look at the experience for another internal person. So this is someone in the same organization. This is Miranda. She wasn't the person who organized the meeting. So this is not saved in her files anywhere. She can't actually access the file in OneDrive because it's in my OneDrive. I'm the organizer. I did that. So she's got the same thing here. She's going into the meeting chats. She's clicking on the weekly progress meeting, and there it is. She can click through. She can view it. Happy days. Watch in browser. You'll see that there are some different options here. So she does not have the ability to download that meeting. So if you are a participant in a meeting and you are the one responsible for keeping track of that meeting and maybe moving it to another location so that everyone can access it, or sharing with someone externally, it's going to be much easier if the person who has to do that is the organizer of the meeting. Otherwise, what you need to do is go, hey, organizer. So I'm Miranda here. I'm going to go, hey, Lisa, you were the organizer. I need you to share access for me so that I can download. So as the organizer, I can either come in here and say manage access and change it so that Miranda can now edit. So now she's got direct access to that, and her experience, if we go back into this, see, now she's got the download button. So it's very easy to provide that access to other people in your organization. But as the organizer, you're the only one who has the power to do that, which can be annoying for you or for other people. The other way that you can do this is because it is in the OneDrive folder. So if I go back into my OneDrive here with this recording, I can actually just share this. So I've got the share button, and I can choose to share this with people internally or externally and allow the different permissions. So if we take a look at what happens from the point of view of the external person, they were a participant in the meeting, they go into the meeting chat and they can see it there, but they click on it and no, this is a roped off zone. You cannot go there. So if you want someone who's external to your organization to have access to the meeting, the organizer needs to come in here and in the files in OneDrive, come in here, select this share button and put in the name of a person, external, set up the right permissions. This is also going to depend on your organization and whether you're allowed to share externally. If you're not allowed to share externally, you're going to have to kind of figure that out. Sometimes it's easier to download it and then upload it into a folder where everybody has shared access. So it's a little bit of fiddling around, but that's how that works. Now, part 2 here is if it is a Teams call, which is a little bit different. This is where you've not actually scheduled a meeting in advance, but let's say I am in Teams here, and let's go into my chats, and I'm having a chat with Miranda. Can I give you a quick call about tomorrow's presentation? And I come in here and I just choose video call, initiate a call, and then I press record on that call. This actually works the same way as a scheduled meeting. So same thing here, I can come in, you can see that this expires in 120 days. I'm the organizer, I can review that call, watch in browser, and the experience is exactly the same as what we were just looking at, where I can download, move, change the expiry date, and you will have noticed before that that is sitting in the same recordings folder in my OneDrive as a scheduled meeting. Now, the thing that is different is if you organize a meeting in a Teams channel. This one is not done as commonly, but I've seen this happen a lot and there is actually a really good use for it. So let's go across in here into Teams, and I've got a human resources team and we've got, say, a responsible business policy rollout. This quite often happens if you sort of have a meeting that's for everybody in a channel, and rather than sort of taking the meeting and sending it out, from within this channel, I can choose to just say meet now. That's not commonly done in my experience. I'm sure people use it, but to say let's schedule a meeting from the channel. And the experience here is that it sits inside, it sort of becomes part of the assets of that channel, and anyone in the channel can come in and access that. So just in case this is something you do in your organization, the meeting sits in here, and if you come into the details, so this one's not sitting in the meeting chats over to the side, this one is sitting in the channel where you initiated it, and this one is saved somewhere different. This is actually saved in the SharePoint files that sit with this channel rather than my personal OneDrive. So you'll see what happens here, and again, it actually does give you this clue. It always says recording has been saved to wherever it's saved to. So if I come over here and have a look at this one and watch it in the browser, you'll see the path underneath here, see SharePoint app, responsible business policy rollout recordings. So the easiest way to see that is to have a look in the channel itself. So this is this particular meeting. If I go back to the channel, you've got a tab here for shared, which is where all of the documents go. And again, recordings, a little sparkle. It's a new folder that was automatically created. You don't have to set that up. But inside recordings, there's the responsible business update. Again, you've got all of the options in there to choose how you're sharing that, but it's actually sitting in SharePoint, not in your OneDrive. So that is actually going to change how that works. If you want to see where that is, you can go into the three dots here, open in SharePoint, and that will show you where that's sitting in that responsible business channel and the recording sitting in there. So to recap, if you've organized the meeting, it's in your OneDrive and it's up to you. You're the only one who can download it. You're the only one who can share it. If you're in that organization, you can view it, but you can't download it unless the organizer gives you permission to do that. And if you're external, you can't access it unless someone actually shares it with you externally. This all impacts the way you use Copilot on meetings as well, if you are using Copilot on meetings. If you're the organizer or it's your organization that has set up the meeting and running the transcript, you can use Copilot during and after the meeting. But if it's not your meeting, like not your organization's meeting, if you're external, you actually won't be able to use Copilot on that. So I'm starting to see a little bit of a struggle for who organizes the meetings. If you organize and if you press the record button, you have the power and the responsibility. Hit me up with any questions you've got. Hopefully that helps you manage your Teams meetings recordings with ease.